Is that I did not go live, so now I am live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So those of you on Instagram, you've been straight the whole time, right? And for the purposes of everyone else just hopping on live, I am a career transition coach. My name's Twanna Carter, and I help high achieving professional women overcome the anxiety and doubt that can come with transitioning to a new career. And I do that by helping them to, realize, recognize, and communicate their unique value, and by instilling a deep sense of belief in their own strengths and abilities so they can courageously and confidently create success on their own terms and pursue a path of purpose that's meaningful to them. So, those of you on Instagram, you got that twice, right? So, today I am coming here talking to you about holiday stress, right? How to survive, some tips to survive the holiday stress. And holidays are stressful to some people, but not others, or it's stressful to some of us in all different types of ways. So let's start on the career side first. Many employers, their end of the year is December 31st. So if you've ever been in the budget arena, you know what I'm talking about, the stress that comes with that. I was a budget analyst once upon a time. And while I was with the government, our end of the year is September 30th. Many businesses, their end of the year is December 31st. So you have end of the year closing down the books, trying to reconcile everything. And you have everybody that wants to take holiday vacation, and it's Christmas or it's Hanukkah or it's Kwanzaa, or it's, it depends on what it is, or maybe nothing at all. You may not even celebrate Christmas at all, but then you got to find something to do with yourself that's not celebrating Christmas because you don't celebrate Christmas. And for some people, that creates a little bit of stress, right? And then there's a personal stress. Maybe you're going home to meet his family for the first time, or you're going home to meet her family for the first time, or maybe some people in the family don't really like you. Maybe you're married and you got to go, oh, I got to go and visit. I know she doesn't like me. I know he doesn't like me. And it can create a lot of stress. Some of us come from drama filled families. It's been that way all of our lives, right? And so you know that every year at holiday time, you're going home and you're dealing with that stress, right? You're dealing with that. It can get very, very stressful. You heard about 900 people that were fired on Zoom, right? So that's a tough Christmas because they don't have a job. And so that's adds another level of stress. Some people have that 6 to 12 months saved up in their savings. So if they lose their job, they're good for 6 to 12 months. Many people do not. So all of these things can come together in this big old ball of stress, and make some people say, I hate the time between Thanksgiving and New Year's. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want holidays to be there anymore. So I am hopping on today so you don't have to say anymore that you hate it, right? I'm going to give you some tips, some tried and true tips that can actually help you to relax, to take it down 1,000, right? So many of us, there's different reasons again why we're stressed. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's situations, sometimes it's finances, but whichever one it is, I want to give you these tips and give you several tips that you can actually follow along and do them when you need a rest, just need a break, right? Because sometimes you go home, and if you have a big family, everybody's under one roof. Sometimes it's hard to find that quiet time to just sneak away and to just be. And for those of us that are introverts, it's like we kind of like, oh, we hear that coming because we know how much alone time we need. And you can't always get that at the holiday times. But the tips that I'm going to share with you today, they don't take a long time. So you don't need to go off and spend 30 minutes. But if you have 30 minutes to spend, by all means, do it. Okay. So here we go. Tips, depending on where you are, go outside to nature. Go outside to nature. It helps to reduce anxiety. It helps to reduce depression. And it's just something about getting the fresh air in your lungs. And it depends on where you are. Because if you're around 6 feet of snow and you're not really a snow person, then maybe you won't use this one. But certainly if you're in a warm place or you enjoy the snow, you enjoy the cold weather, take a 5, 10, 15-minute walk. And just a breather puts that space in there. And just being in nature is really soothing, especially if you're an introvert. And I'm an introvert, and now I spend way more time in nature than I used to because I found out it is really soothing to me. And it really does help take me down 1,000. So, number one, right, is spend time in nature. I want to count these off. So, if any of you reference them, I can come back and explain a little bit more. So, if you're out there and you feel comfortable enough to say, are you looking forward to going home, or are you looking forward to the holidays? Give me a yes if you are, or a no if you're not, or you can put your hands up if you say, are you kidding me? No, right? Because it just depends. Some of us have great families, some of us maybe not so much. And there are a lot of us, we have over 800,000 people lost to COVID right here, just in the United States. So there is a lot of sense of loss during this time. And it really is important for you to take that time out and do take a break, right? Grieve in the manner in which you need to grieve. Those of you who know me well, you also know that I'm a licensed therapist. And one of the things that I tell my clients is never let anyone tell you when it's time for you to be done with grieving. That is no one else's decision but yours. You are the only person who can say when it's time to stop grieving. So don't let people push you. It's been 6 months. It's been a year. It's been 5 weeks. Yes, people will say that. You should have stopped crying by now. You should be moving on. No, you're the only person who can make that call you know and if it feels like your grief is maybe turning to depression, then do seek help from a licensed clinician to deal with grief, right? And I do that on my counseling side of the house. I don't do that on the coaching side of the house, but I do that on my with my counseling clients. Okay, so I just want to put that in there because there's a lot of grief this time of the year. A lot of people have lost moms, dads, siblings, children, uncles, aunts, grandparents. So there's a reason why you may be feeling down. So do take that walk out into nature and take a deep breath. All right. And so the next one is a deep breath, right? It's a little bit of a different deep breath. And I got this from oh my gosh. It'll the name will come to me in a few minutes, but it is very simple. Take one of your hands, and it doesn't matter which one, and put it on your tummy, on your abdomen, or your stomach, whichever one you want to call it today, right? And it's really good if you can close your eyes doing this because we get about 80% of our sensory data through our eyes, through visually, right? And so if you're in a safe place, go ahead and close your eyes. But if you're not, you don't have to have them closed, right? And so for this particular exercise, you got your hand on your tummy. And I know you guys can't see my tummy down here, but just imagine, just kind of pretend you see my hand on my tummy down here, right? And with that hand on your stomach, eyes open or eyes closed, only using your abdominal muscles, go ahead and push that hand up as far as you can. Push, 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 and hold it. Now, when you're doing this by yourself, it's a 5-second hold. When you get to 5 seconds, out of your mouth, exhale slowly. Shh. Let's do that again. Those of you who just joining in, we're doing some abdominal breathing. Put one of your hands on your stomach. Just using your stomach muscles, push that hand up. Push, push, push as far as you can get it and hold it. That's right. I'm just counting now. 5-second holds, or about that. Now exhale slowly through your mouth. Shh. Let's do that one more time. Push that hand up. Push, 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 and hold it. That's right. Exhale slowly. And you can see that doesn't even take like hardly a minute, right? But you should feel the difference. I know for me, it always gets me here and just kind of relax a little bit. Other people say they're able, the tension in their neck goes away. For other people, they may carry their stress in their stomach and it helps it to go away. So putting your hand on your abdomen and only using your abs to pull up your stomach is a sneaky way of filling your diaphragm with air. That's all we did. Rather than saying take a deep breath, because some people, when they take a deep breath, they tense everything up and take the deep breath, and that doesn't really help. But when you put one of your hands on your abdomen and you just use that abdomen to push that hand up as far as you can, hold it for 5 seconds, and then release or exhale the air slowly through your mouth. We did that 3 times. 3 to 5 is really good. That'll get you right in the relax zone, right? And it just makes you feel good. You can do this one anywhere, even if you can't get away from the family. Just, in a chair, pretend you're nodding out. Just pretend that you're nodding out. Put your hand on your stomach and take those deep breaths, right? It's a nice fresh up air. Like, it's just really nice to get that calming sensation. And you do that all by yourself, right? You do that all by yourself. So, any questions or comments out there? Um, let's see here. I want to find where is Alive at. Let's see here. Alrighty, I'm gonna share this with a group so I can pop it in there. I'm looking for questions. So if you have questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the comment section and I will attend to those, right? Yeah, I want to pop this in a couple of other places to be sure everybody gets this because again, these are just tips to help you survive the stress. And I do this with my coaching clients, and it just like I said, it just takes a few moments to do this. I will say this, and I always like to caveat this with the abdominal breathing. Really, what we're doing is we're triggering your vagal nervous system to downgrade, and if you're not in a safe place, like you may come to harm, you don't want to necessarily be closing your eyes and doing this if you're not safe, right? You really want to do this in a place where you feel safe. Now, I know some of you are like, well, I don't feel safe with my family because they're crazy. Well, you'll be okay with that. I mean, you may want to do eyes open or eyes closed, but you should be okay with that one. Okay. So I am checking across. I'm coming to you today across about 4 or 5 platforms. I want to be sure that I answer people's questions if they have any questions. Okay. So the next one, I actually get this from Richard Nungard, Dr. Nungard, and I love this because it's another short one. It doesn't take a lot of your time to do, and it's easy as 3, 2, 1, because, well, that's the name of this particular strategy. Literally 3, 2, 1. Do the Janet Jackson era. 3, 2. Yeah, you get the gist of that, right? So this one is 3. You're gonna just take 3 normal breaths. Just 3 cleansing breaths. So that's the 3. 2 is because you have 2 hands. So you're gonna take that across your body and you're literally gonna hug yourself, right? That's the 2. You're literally going to hug yourself. Now, when we get hugs from people, the reason why that feels so good, unless it's somebody creepy that you don't want to touch you. But other than that, right? The reason why that hug feels so good is because when we touch, this produces oxytocin and it makes us feel good. So while you're hugging yourself, you can actually rub up and down on your arms if that makes you feel good, or you can just leave them in place. So you can give yourself one tight hug. But that's the 2. The first one was 3 nice breaths, cleansing breaths. 2, cross your hands, hug yourself. The 1 is for 1 minute of breathing. Again, if you're in a safe place, you can close your eyes and breathe. If not, you can breathe with your eyes open. You're going to breathe for a minute. So we're going to simulate a whole minute because I don't want to be on here just silent for a minute. But literally, you do this and you just close your eyes and just breathe, right? And do that for a minute. If it feels good to give yourself that hug because you really need it and you're really stressed, you can hug yourself more than a minute. But simply, it's 3, 2, 1. 3 deep breaths, 3 nice cleansing breaths. 2 hands, hug yourself. And then 1 is 1 minute of breathing. You can do that eyes open or eyes closed. Realizing that when you close your eyes, you close off about 80% of your sensory data that's coming in. And then the other 20s are split between your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of touch, and your sense of hearing. But when you close your eyes, you cut off a big chunk of it, right? And sometimes that's what you need to get that break. All right. So pretty simple, right? And these are all simple things that you can do to refocus yourself. Okay. And so another one that I love, love, love doing with my clients, and this is one that I actually will use um going to sleep at night, or if I go to sleep and I wake up and I don't want to let my brain start like calculating and figuring out what I'm gonna do that during the day. I need to go right back to sleep. This is one that you do need to, close your eyes, right? Because you're going to be closing your eyes. Again, it gets the sensory data out. Of course, if you're laying down asleep, that's an easy thing to do. But you can actually do this eyes open, but I recommend eyes closed. You really can do this one anywhere as well. So this one is pretty simple. You're going to close your eyes, and then you want to count silently to yourself. Just count backwards from 100 silently to yourself. Okay. When you say 100 silently to yourself, then you're going to write the number 100 on the back of your eyelid, so that you do have to have your eyes closed on this one, right? Then after you do that, then you just simply say 99 silently to yourself, and then you write 99 on the back of your eyelids. Though I have started you from 100, and that's what I recommend you start from. The goal is never to get to one. The goal is to do this until you feel relaxed. Most people do feel relaxed. Some people like are done by 90. They're like, shh, I'm relaxed, or they will open their eyes because they're getting ready to go to sleep. So this is a great one to do because it will relax you really quickly. And if you are really, really anxious or like stressing, you're about to feel like you're about to break, then do count just count backwards. I've only ever had one client who counted backwards and got to one, in which case I told her to start over at 200, count backwards from 200. She never said she got down to one from 200. So there you go. This is a really neat one to do. Again, you don't need any extra equipment. All you need is yourself and some time, and you can even do it in the middle. You don't have to have a quiet space. Obviously, you want to be in a quiet space if you can, but sitting in the midst of people, this is a nice way to get a break without having to get up and walk away. Simply close your eyes and you just count backwards. And actually, because you're able to focus and it's great at refocusing, people tell me they feel so refreshed when they do this one, right? Because again, we're talking about today how to tips on surviving holiday stress. And so I gave you some really great tips that you can just do by yourself. And actually, if you have a loved one with you and you can say, hey, come on, let's breathe together, even better, because it does calm you down. Okay. And I know when my children were babies, one thing that I used to do with them is I used to hum, right? I used to just hum. Humming is very soothing because you get the vibration, right? Mm, a lot of if you do yoga, there's a om, but you don't have to do that. I know there's kind of little quirky things people have about yoga. I mean, but you can hum a Christmas song to yourself. You can just hum your favorite song to yourself. You can hum, church songs to yourself, whatever. You can hum music. But the humming, if you close your eyes and just hum, like it's and you're just focusing, and that vibrating sound really just feels good. So, I'm the person that likes to go to sleep in cars because the vibrating, of the car moving and whatnot. It tends to be soothing to a lot of people. And what I did when my children were like a little bit fussy and we were in public and I knew we had to be there, like waiting on an appointment for something, I would put them here and I would hum to them different songs. And you'll be surprised how when you hum, you do calm down. The stress eases and the baby eases with your stress, because children can pick up on your stress and your anxiety. You don't have to say anything, they just literally pick up on that, right? So that's 5 tips, right, for you to survive holiday stress. And this is all about refocusing, refreshing, because you just got to get through the holidays. And I know it's tough for a lot of people, and it's tough for a lot of different reasons that I spoke about before. There's, 800,000 people that are no longer with us anymore. And that's a lot of loss. And when you start adding in the people around the world, just the loss from COVID, it is tough. And there are people who lost their jobs, and there are families who just don't like each other, but they insist on spending Christmas together. So there's a lot of different things out there that causes people stress this time of the year. And for some folks, it is their job. They're service members, that are deployed around the world. And they won't even get to spend time with their family. So that's another added stress that you may be going through. So whatever it is, I gave you 5 different tips, right? For you to just get a break in place where you are. I talked about number 1, if you can go out in nature. Spend some time in nature, whether you like to bite in cold or some of you are blessed to be in like Italy and Florida and it's the beach and it's warm. Go out and spend that time in nature. Very calming, especially if you can be near a body of water, provided that you don't fear water. But certainly hearing the ocean waves come in and out, that sound is very soothing. Or if you're near a lake or you're near a bubbling brook or something or a waterfall, that's also very calming. And being in nature just really does help us, right? And then number 2, I told you about the abdominal breathing. You put left hand or your right hand on your stomach, only using the abdominal muscles. Push that hand up as far as you can. Hold that breath for 5 seconds. And then after that, let it out slowly through your mouth. 3 to 5 breaths is really good. If you're really stressed or there's a person there at the house and you're looking, trying to give them side eye and you don't want to get up and do something, then you do 10. 10 is fine. You can do more than 3 to 5. Do 10. That'll work. It'll just ease you right on out. And it may also put you to sleep. That's one that I will also use to go to sleep, right? Then I also talked about closing your eyes and counting backwards from 100. It's a slow count. You don't have to rush through, right? But literally close your eyes and count backwards from 100 to yourself. And after you say each number, then you're going to write that number on the back of your eyelids. Just pretend you got a big old piece of chalk and you're just writing that number on the back of your eyelids. So you have a marker, whatever you have. And you literally say the number like 100, write 100 on the back of your eyelids. Then after that, you say 99 silently to yourself, write 99 on the back of your eyelids. And you keep counting backwards until you feel calm and relaxed. You don't have to count to 1, but if you're truly stressed and someone has really hit that nerve, oh my gosh, you're right there, then yeah, keep counting, get to 1. Again, I've only ever had one client who got to 1 counting backwards from 100. And what I told her was to start over at 200. She never got to 1 after that. So that's a good deal, right? We did the 3, 2, 1. That's literally 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm having problems there. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Two-handed, right? And that's just taking 3 deep breaths, or 3 breaths, just cleansing breaths. Breathe in, you breathe out. You have 2 hands across your body, and then give yourself a nice hug. You can squeeze if you need to. You can actually rub up and down, just get that oxytocin going there because it feels good. And then the 1 is you close your eyes if possible and breathe for a minute. And there you have it, 3, 2, 1. Then I also told you about humming. Humming creates a vibration for many people that is soothing. Whether you do, whoops, hit my camera there for the people on Instagram. Sorry about that. Whether you do the Om for yoga, or whether you hum church songs or you hum your favorite song, whatever it is you're doing, you just want to close your eyes if you can and just hum, and it feels really good. And this is something I did for my kids that calmed them down. I would put them right up here and I would hum because, of course, you're humming and vibrating, and so is a kid, and that typically relaxes them and calms them down. So it's pretty cool, right? So those are my 5 tips for you today to survive holiday stress. And so I do have a free PDF for you, and it is 7 stress affirmations, right? So not only do you go home with 5, right? 5 different ways now that you can relieve stress and get a moment and refresh and refocus, but now you have 7 affirmations that you can repeat to yourself. So go there, you click on the link, I'll put it out there, and fill in your email address and your name. Click it, you'll get the confirmation email. You click that, and the next email that you see has a link for the 7 free affirmations. All right. And so it's a wonderful gift. So You got your 5 things here, and then you can get up each morning. I get 7. You can get up each morning and say an affirmation. Hopefully your trip is not over 7 days, but if it is, you just start over and use them again, right? Thank you so much for watching. Now, I do a lot of stress and anxiety, and I am also a certified hypnotherapist. So, if you are looking for a way to deal with stress and deal with anxiety, you know, do let me know. You can drop hypnosis in the comments and I'll reach out to you and set up a 15-minute free consultation for hypnosis. It is a wonderful way to relieve stress, to relieve anxiety, and to get over that hump if it's just following you and won't let you be, right? And it's just disturbing your life. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And I'll see you next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, 8:35 on Wednesday nights, 8:35 p.m. Eastern time. Take care.